Hello, viewers. Today we have a Lasko. These are what the premium box fan, and I'm less familiar with these, but this is one that I've had. I get it off Marketplace 5, 6, 7 years ago. Didn't really use it much because the deal in Marketplace was it was this and a Robeson fan that I was after the Robeson, but it was like you could get them both, and I think I paid $10 for them a few years back. So I lent this one out to a friend, and it got just a lot of hours on it. A lot of hours on it. These have already gone to the dishwasher. I kind of wish I showed the before because these were just like it looked bearded. Let's just put it that way, bearded. You know how I feel about these guards. Like while these clean up and these look awesome, I'm a very much a traditionalist when it comes to guards. Like I like the regular horizontal slats. Really, if anything, if they wanted to do a Venturi, they should just like block these out, block those out and just keep it normal. But whatever, they didn't do that. And then the rear. The other thing, someone pointed out, I was watching a video recently. Yeah, it's cracked. I was watching a video recently of Air King 9723 video, and he made a good point in his video. He talked about another reason not to like these is because, I mean, yes, I'm holding two, but you don't see the blades spinning as well. Not as bad as a McGraw Edison 14-inch box fan where you can't see anything through that little guard, and we've documented that. Okay, so today's goal is going to be to essentially clean and service this thing. I don't think it's ever been oiled. I certainly have not done it, and I'm sure the previous owner didn't do it. Has a little rust now in the cabinet, which is fun. All right, so we're going to remove the blades. So I removed the blades. I did it off camera because I just joked with Eddie here and said, oh, okay, like I paused it because I was like, sometimes it takes me 5-10 minutes to pull them off, and it's like you don't need to watch me struggle doing it. So I literally, Eddie held the cabinet and pulled straight up. A technique with these I say to follow is pull straight. Do not like try to like get your fingers back here and do this because that will crack. Pull up, turn it, pull up, turn it, pull up. Like just keep doing it and have some patience. So this we will put this over here.
Red stuff on there.
Yeah.
Loctite.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fire this up and sand thy shaft. You want to plug it in for me? This is a Marco motor, so this is an older fan, right? It was right, probably not. So okay, so here's my knowledge of Lasko, and I'm gonna get like, I don't want to say schooled because people are pretty polite, educated in the comments. All right, so. Marco motor, two things how I know this is an older fan. The Marco motor and the supports are not these skinny little supports like they have in 3733s today. And he's going to our model 3733 to show. Yeah, like that would be the giveaway. Even on the Air King, the 9723, which is a fan you guys know I love, has the skinnier supports. But it is new enough that the D blades are gone and they're replaced with, I know you guys call these the pedal blades. I hate them. And I don't care about your nostalgia. I don't care. They're ugly. The blades are disproportionate to the hub. It just doesn't look right. Like the hub looks way bigger. The hub looks like it should have a full-size like D blade or something else on it. Make the hub smaller.
The hub is bigger than the actual blade.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It just never was aesthetically pleasing to me. And the other thing about these things, they make noise. They whirl around. But, all right. Rant over. Okay, so you have that plugged in. So the reason why we're sanding this shaft. So there is some of this red like residue that from the manufacturer on the shaft that is used probably to hold the blades on, right? Which is it's fine. But the thing is you don't want to do is when you go to open up the motor and pull the shaft through the sleeve bearing, you don't want to get that stuff on the bearing, right? So the best thing to do is to clean up the bearing, clean up the shaft before you do that. So a great way of doing it is let the fan do the work for you. So Eddie had plugged it in. We're just going to turn it on and we're going to clean it up. Now, if I had some polish, we could also polish it as well, but I don't. But generally, this is pretty good. This one's not horrible either. Sometimes you come across that stuff on it, rust, or just like oil buildup. See? Came out really nice. That's all we had to do. All right, so we can cancel this sandpaper out. And so now we're going to do some wrenching. Actually, I'm going to send Eddie off camera. You want to take this up to the sink? You get a head start on it? All right, you want to leave your microphone unless you want to sing to us while you're showering the blades? All right. Speaking of, I am a little paranoid about the audio because it did recently put a video out there. Only subscribers, not subscribers, members, I guess, could see it at this point because it hasn't aired for everyone. But the comment was there was no audio. And I have upgraded my audio a while ago. I use the same audio equipment that I'm speaking to you on right now, and something happened. So I must have hit something during the filming that caused a problem. And so now I keep looking over at the display on the camera to make sure that I'm still talking to you. And it seems to be. So can't win them all, I guess. So I guess that one, when it airs for everybody, it'll be like a silent service video. All right, so I'm going to remove. You can do this a couple ways. You could either remove the motor directly from the. I would just use a regular socket. It'll be easier for me. You could remove the motor directly from the supports there, or you can just pop it off this way. I'm going to pop it off this way first because if I don't need to varnish the windings, revarnish the windings, I could probably just leave it. I don't know. I go both ways. If you've watched my other videos, sometimes I pull the motor completely out and then split it, or I'll do it this way. So today, actually, yeah, I think we're going to have to, I answered my own question. We're going to have to do it anyway. Right? Because I think, the rotor's right here. We can do it right here. Yeah, there's a ton of dust packed in here. See all that? See if I can zoom in on it. See all that dust? See all that? So we're going to want to remove that. In fact, I'm going to bring it in closer. You don't necessarily need to see me. I mean, I know I'm a handsome guy and all that, but it's probably more interesting to see the wrenching. And this video might be more interesting to people because I know there's a generation of fan guys out there who are, anywhere from 15 to 20 years younger than me. So this kind of hits their childhood and nostalgia factor, this fan. So this might be an interesting video for you. And this is I don't want to say a super common fan. What is going on here? Hang on. But it's a fan that they're out there. They're still out there with the Marco motors on them. I love Marco motors. So basically, the 3723s and 3733s from the 90s are kind of like that's like the end of my childhood because I was 20 years old I was in my 20s by the year 2000, right? So I guess you could say even though I think that's a kid, it really is a grown up. Okay, so let's we can pop this off this way if we want to. You could do it a couple ways. You just always want to be careful. You could do it this way. Oh, that came off really easy. Oh man. This is what, whoa. I would love to show the person who was using this fan this. Whoa. I take a picture of that. Okay, so for those who are just kind of feeling their way around fans and like wants to oil an older fan like this and doesn't know how, so you saw we took off what's called a cover or shell, but in here, see in here, that's the wicking material. That's what the area we're going to oil, okay? And the bearing absorbs that as it needs it. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. So if you find a fan that's in bad shape, those things are usually pretty like dry rotted and just like nothing. But in this case, we're in good shape. We're in good shape. All right. I don't. All right. Well, I'm gonna pull this whole thing out. Look at that. Oh, that is another picture for sure. Okay, we're gonna pop this off. This is just a mess. These fans are, of course, I'm gonna run into something that's gonna make me eat my words, but these fans are generally easy to work on. I mean, if you're learning how to do this and you watch somebody like myself, and there's a lot of guys out there who do a great job. Typically, if you're watching me, you probably already follow those guys, but these are not highly complex. You just have to, take your time. Now, these have these thrust washers, if you call them that, on there. Other fans will have more of like almost like a spacer and one of those washers. This does not. So you can't even kind of mess that up. Man, what a mess this thing is. I'm going to make a giant mess too when I pull out the compressor to blow all this out of here. But we'll get this thing. This thing, actually, believe it or not, was performing very well despite all this. And whether it's these Marco motors or the newer motors that they put in them, I personally like these again better because I like the bigger shaft and whatnot, bigger bearing. But I got a piece of like metal in my finger, a little piece. Okay, all right. Goes my shoot. That was not good. Somehow I managed to knock the shaft and the rotor off onto the floor, and thankfully it did not put a divot in the end of it. Get that out of the way. All right, so we're gonna hit this with some compressed air. Actually, I can just physically remove that with my fingers. Do we have paper towels down here, or did we run out? It is likely we ran out, so I may have to make a paper towel run. I'm going to make a paper towel run, so hang on. All right, so the owner of this fan was, not the owner, whatever, the person who was using this fan just came here, and I was showing them this, and they said, at least I acknowledged it needed help. So yeah, so I appreciate that. Oh my gosh. The person who has this fan or was using it also has a dog. So I think that's kind of maybe what's going on there too, with some extra stuff going on with the fur. All right, so we're gonna actually, I think for in here, I'm gonna use Q-tips versus blasting it with the air. because while it can be effective, it's just like. So what I do is I keep just Q-tips here, and this is a bit tedious, but it's not horrible. It's not like I would rather do this than hand clean a guard. Yeah, look at that. Just get that out. Ooh, careful, careful. Thankfully, I know somebody now who can help us out if we trash one of these motors. I just saw online somebody was selling a motor to an attic fan. It was like new old stock, or it was new, but it has a half-inch shaft, and most of these things are 3/4. Because I thought about building a monster out of an older cabinet that I have and spare parts, but nice. That they look brand new. I should have had you take a piece of foam up there with you.
Yeah, I couldn't really get these tiny little.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
How's it going?
I was gonna pull out the compressed air, but I just thought I would just try to get some of this loose before I hit it with the air, because you know how like it just kind of wraps it around there. Yeah. I think there is so much stuff in there. It's probably because of the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I see dog hair in here, but it's just like that thick, like it's much better. But you should see this.
Oh,
I took a picture of it. I know.
Poor fan.
I know. And the thing is, I was saying to the viewers, is it was still performing very well because I fired it up and everything when she brought it here. I was like, this thing is actually still working pretty good. It was just a little restrictive because the guard was like totally covered. I think that's mostly done.
It'd be like a dust storm in here.
I know. Do you think we should hit these windings with varnish?
He could. They don't look terrible, but
Yeah.
he could.
I mean, this thing, let's get the hours put on it. So I'm wondering if maybe we should, just to protect it.
Should I blow it away first?
So we need to get to the back of it. Okay, this is mostly clean. But we need to get to the we can just get this. Yeah, I hate this crap. It makes it harder to work on the motor. There we go. So let's by hand take that off, because that's not going to blow it off.
Yeah, it might.
Yeah, but let's first Q-tip. Like, I think just like loosen it first, because it, like, when it's stuck on here like that, it won't blow it off. If it's just kind of like piled on there, it might. I mean, this is crazy. Look at that. It's only like
as a fur coat
blocked that whole thing up. And then what I'm trying to do is, because I know that's going to create a dust storm, literally. I'm trying to just, whatever clumps I pull off, put over here. It's just not. Yeah, I took a picture of the backside of this to show her too. But these are good motors though. Yeah, I think that's loose in there. Yeah, it's all loose. All right, do you want to blow it out both sides? Just like blow it out and then just kind of gently turn it over and hit it. I know, it's fine. That's way better. So what we need to do, here, turn it off. I'm going to pop off the rear cover. So let me get Q-tips for that. And then we'll Q-tip this out. These windings actually look like they're in good shape. Ooh, nope. See that? That's why we got to varnish. See, what happens is when motors start to hum, it's because these are moving. And then what happens is the insulation like wears off and then it arcs and it burns out. So we just caught something good. Well, we caught a bad thing, but it's good that we caught it. Yeah, look at that.
Don't touch it too much.
I know. And it's actually okay if you... Ooh, that one's loose too. All right, well, it's good we're doing this. Man, this is just like packed in there. Yeah, well, that just made our answer very easy. And should we varnish this or not? While I do this, do you want to set up like a varnish spot in the garage?
Yeah.
Like put some cardboard down or something? This way when we get up there, we can just roll. Yeah, so Eddie and I have this down to a science. Like we can, when we're both working on a fan together, we can really get through. What? There might be some in a recycling pile in the garage. So what we typically do is, and I'll talk about the varnishing process because I'll do it off camera. So I use a product called Spray On Varnish. Unfortunately, I bought the red, which you should really, it's just better if you use the clear. And when you have to use it in a well ventilated area. So like we'll open a garage door, but even so, it's better to do it outside. So then what we do is when you apply varnish, it's not like spray paint where you oh man, that's a loose winding. It's not like spray paint where you fog it on. You have to get very close, otherwise you have overspray city, and I have demonstrated that in some of my videos. But like you guys, I am also learning. So you get better with practice, and you got to start somewhere. That's why, like, when I see other videos, like, and someone does something, like, maybe not 100% with the best technique or a clean technique, I don't crush them in the comments because, unless they're trying to tell you, like, this is how you do it, and they're just careless and sloppy. But even then, I really don't comment anything unless they're really don't comment anything negative like that. But I try to... I just encourage those people, like, great, like, glad to see you're learning how to do it, and you improve. Like, speaking of improving, like, I ordered the wrong varnish last time. Yeah, I'm almost ready for this. I am so glad I discovered this because that could really be the difference between a nice long, yet a longer life with this motor or not. So I was just explaining to the viewers how.
Had a great view of your back.
Oh, okay, you can adjust. Sorry, guys. I was just saying to the viewers, it was mostly commentary on how to approach varnishing because we'll do it off camera. Okay. I'm not gonna, and it's okay if you get a little dust caught in the varnish. It is absolutely okay. So we're just about done with this, and I would rather have a little dust baked into my varnish versus break something trying to clean it. All right, this looks 1,000 times better. I'm in here. This is well, we got that cleaned up pretty good. It's just kind of like rust on the front of it. All right, and this one, yeah, okay. All right, so we have to, because this is all attached. So Eddie, I did a one of the plastic motors, one of those Eastern Electrics. You weren't here, and this wasn't like a ribbon. It was individual wires, and they popped out. So I actually was impressed with myself. Like I was just talking to everybody about learning. I was impressed with myself because I was able to snap them all back in and into the correct holes by looking at yours. And the one I did it on was a 2-speed. So like I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to hop off camera momentarily and we're going to go do this. And when we come back, we will oil both the shells. We're not going to do them right now, or the bearings. We're not going to do them now because this one has to come with this because it's attached. And then we'll do that when we come back, and then we will reassemble the motor, get it back into housing, and with the blades off, we'll clean the cabinet with foam, and then we'll use surface cleaner, and then we'll go over it with a wax. So we'll be right back. It'll be instantaneous for you.
He's varnishing the blades. I will be foaming the blades. Although they already are really clean after a sink. Try getting the most of this out. The parts where I couldn't get in the sink. Unfortunately, I can't get everything out. It's just what it is. And use some paper towels and get a little water off. Dry it off. I guess I know. Flood. Good to go. Fortunately, I can't get those little spaces, crevices that well. See a little bit.
Okay, we're back. So I should say, I varnished this, and this probably looks like a disaster mess, but like this was, I believe, the color of red anyway on the outside, so it's a little deceiving. But I went heavier than I normally did because we had loose wires, and I did a little inspection off camera. Most of them are pretty secure again. There's this one over here. I'm not totally thrilled with it, but at least it's varnished, revarnished, so we're good to go there. So the next step is we need to oil these shells. I need to flip this back over because this actually goes this way, I believe. All right, so we're going to get Spout zoom. Yes, I said that backwards on purpose. So let's talk about my oil lecture, which I do in every video. We want to make sure we are using non-detergent oil. I choose Zoom Spout because I like the long straw here. It's easy to work with, but you can use an all-in-one, like a 3-in-1 non-detergent. Make sure it's the blue can, has an image of the fan on the back. This has been great. I've had this bottle for like 10 years, and like I'm just under half, and I keep, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I should just have another one on hand. This actually came in a 2-pack, I believe, and I think, Eddie, you have the second one at the other location. Eddie will wrench on fans sometimes over there. I'm trying to convince him to film it. All right, so so because this has the wicking material, we're gonna just put a couple drops. Put a drop on each of the areas. Actually, these don't look too thirsty. These look pretty good, and I've never oiled them before. And then, can I have a paper towel, please? I'm going to put one underneath because I want to just put a few drops in the sleeve bearing. How bad is my shoulder in there? No, it's not bad. You want to do the other one? Preferably on camera.
I'm trying. I'm getting there.
Why don't you just put it flat on the...
Stop moving it.
Should I get another piece of paper towel just so, because I don't like that on an angle. Let me get you another piece of paper towel. All right. So that is good to go there. So what I'm going to do is slide that. All right, so now we can start to line things up. And actually I got that stator almost dead on. May I have the, I did a little cleaning on the rotor.
Yeah, a little dusty. No?
Yeah.
It's all holes. It's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay. Good call. Yeah, this thing has some hours on it, but these things, you know, if you just do what we're doing, they'll keep doing their thing.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any thrust washers?
No. That,
No. Okay.
looks good. Oh yeah. You are happy.
Feels nice and smooth.
Yeah. All right.
I'm happy to do this to line it up because.
Yeah. So
really
this, yeah. So this is kind of the key, right? You want to line that up, and then just drop it over the holes, and then may I have the long ones for the motor first? I think there's only two, right?
Yeah, there's only two right here.
Yep. So you can see.
The rest there's in three.
So I know. So the trick you can see is where like the bolt was. It's just a ton of dust on it. That's pretty bad. All right, so we're gonna do this. You want to get the sockets out for me?
First try, jeez.
That never happens. Well,
I love when it
sometimes,
does.
yeah, sometimes it happens. I don't know if I'm lined up all the way. I can see straight down in there. Oh yeah, there we go. That was lined up, so this one should be. Yep. Sock it to me. Yeah, I really think if you can, for anyone who's like, yeah, I want to learn how to do this. This is fairly, like if you have, especially if you have one of this era type fan with these Marco motors. The new ones have like the plastic shroud around them and everything. They're still the easy one. The new ones are still fairly easy to work on, I gotta say. But this is, I mean, it doesn't get really any easier than this. So, you know, what do you have to lose? Like if your fan's not really working anymore and it's locked up, I hope this video helps you. You don't have to varnish the windings. I did that because the idea is when most of the time, especially the fans that I kind of use sparingly, yeah, he's gonna balance the shaft. It has self-aligning bearings. Just get a little more over here, and yeah, it spins even more freely. Awesome. So now I'm just going to bolt it into the cabinet, which I need to stand it up to do. So, like I said, if you're thinking about doing this, it's really you don't have to be a whiz with like mechanically or anything to do this. Yeah, we got some serious cleaning to do. Can I have the screws up here?
Raise it up a little bit.
Are we on camera? Yeah. So normally, I try to clean up all this dust before but we have the motor reassembled, so we'll be cautious getting the dust out of here, not to get it back into the motor. Although it'd be loose and it'd probably blow right back out. All right, so let's just, for fun, before we start getting into the cleaning. Yep. It's not making any humming. This is a normal sounding motor without the blades on it. All right, so let's clean it up. So we're going to take the foam. This can kind of be a two-man job, maybe. It's like a slat that like melted into the.
That's a foot.
Oh,
Feet, foot, leg, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. Do you wanna? So I have like kind of like used foam up there. You wanna like queue up another one or two?
Two. Okay.
Yeah, because this one's kind of. Yeah, so this is Magic Erase. It's the, kind of like the off-brand. In this case, it was an Amazon buy. It was like it was 100 pack for like, I don't know, can't remember exactly, $12, $16. It's a brand called Smile, P-O-W-O, so Smile Powo. It's ridiculous, I know, but whatever. It's the same stuff, and it is game-changing awesome. So typically these fans would have, might have to zip tie that. Typically they have like a little, like thing that snaps on over this. This one did not have that, and I'm wondering if they just cheaped out and they just put that stupid glue instead. The rest of this, I think, is just rust in here. So what I want to do is grab one of these. Yeah. I'm going to try to get some of the stuff off the motor. A lot of this paint just gone. But there we go. All right, so let's every man for himself on this thing. The outside of the cabinet's not bad. So I think this got used. I think this is what she told me. She used it year round on the floor. And then in the summertime, it went in the window. So that's why it has that rust line around it. Even if she didn't tell me that it was used in a window, I could tell that it was used in a window because that rust line. And I trust that she wouldn't use it in the rain. But it's just the humid air. It just gets slung.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got most of that over there.
Okay, cool. All right, do we need to turn it around? Yeah, that's not dirt. That's just paint gone.
Patina, if you will.
Yeah. I know we hit it already once, but it doesn't hurt to go for it again. Oh, did you get that side? Did you get the ceiling?
The ceiling. Is there a table above it?
Yeah. Right. It's just a chandelier. And it's very typical for these models with that different handle for, say what you want about the 3733 handles, but they typically don't break for a while anyway. So many of these are missing when you come in, find them. And it's weird because it's like hard plastic too, and these aren't like super heavy fans. That's why this thing sits weird, is because it's busted out. A little shock therapy. There you go. All right, so let's now hit it with this.
Where did that plastic go? Here.
So let's now hit it with the surface cleaner. I just want to, speaking of surface, try to clean as we go.
Great view.
Oh, yeah, that's when we were working on that. So after it's kind of like a 3-step process, right? So we hit it with the magic eraser, and this kind of gets in any like magic eraser will like get like all the stuff, and then sometimes paper towel, and then sometimes it will like just kind of leave like moisture, dirty water behind, right? So this is just to get that off. Eddie already did. You did that on camera with the blades, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yep, cool. Yeah, so then once he's done that, we'll put some wax on it. And then we will begin to button it back up. What's the date? Is there a date code down there?
1999 to 2000.
Okay. So this thing's pretty old. So I've called it a 2000. I mean, it's 26 years old. So this would probably be the very beginning of the pedal blades and the end of D blades.
See it?
Yep. So I had a pristine Ultra, Lasko Ultra that I traded Jordan for McGraw Edison Infinite Speed with the box, and I think that fan was also I think that fan might have been a year or two older. I forget what the date code is. Because that, well, actually, you know what? I don't think that had D blades on it. I think it was slightly newer. I think we figured it out. It was actually a bit newer than that. But you know, when a fan's within 10 years of another fan, it's kind of, in my mind, from the same era, if you will. I can't believe one of those vents on the motor was completely covered. Like, it looked like there was not a vent there because it was dust. Is that wax time?
Yep.
I'll set you up.
Of course, everything's still wet at the table. Good. But
I'll start to set you up, and then I will. That's where the wax is in here upside down. That's because I'm opening the box upside down. Because the box was put away upside down. That cabinet looks good.
yeah.
Shaking up the wax. So I'll get into my waxing spiel as I do. I don't notice many collectors do this. We do. I've been doing it for years, way before channel, but way long time. I just use general turtle wax. Do it for 3 reasons. 1, protect the blades from hopefully not warping, which, you know, depending on the fan, I won't use it in the sun. This thing, you know, has a lot of hours on it, and, you know, it's been used in the sun a lot. And actually the guards, I made an argument that more modern fans, the plastics seem to hold better in the sun than more like the 90s and even early 2000s. Well, this would be an early 2000s fan. And then, so that's one reason. Second reason is you see that ring of rust in the cabinet from being used in a window. It's just can't help it. If you're using it in a window and unless you live in maybe out west where it's not as humid, you're going to get that ring of rust. So this protects on that. So if you have a new fan, for sure, and no one really cleans a new fan, but if you take a new fan out of the box and put a coat of wax on it, it'll protect that from happening. So that's the second reason. And third, the third is just like, gives it that factory shine and look again. And I'm not an engineer, clearly, but I often wondered if a thin coat of wax on the blades helps in any way with airflow or aerodynamics. Don't know. That could be just my brain making stuff up. But I've been known to do that. So that's my spiel on wax. You don't have to use turtle wax. You can use any kind of wax. I use turtle wax around here because it's more of a... I use Meguiar's for my cars, but I use turtle wax for like I wax my lawnmower decks. I wax the plastic on my tractor. We use it on the fans, clearly. So I use it kind of, turtle wax is more of a general purpose, but I wouldn't hesitate to put it on my car. Sometimes if I run out of Meguiar's and I have a little bit left to do, I grab the turtle wax. It's a good product. It's been around forever. The Meguiar's is more expensive. That's why I just don't use it for everything. Good to go all the way around?
Yeah, and you do the blades.
Oh, they're over here. There you go. I'm going to start to get rid of this trash.
So just a little wax, that little indent from the last time.
I was thinking about it as we were working. I did clean this and wax this fan once before, I think when I first got it, but I remember, I do remember not oiling it because, again, this was like 10 years ago. And even though I knew how to do that stuff, it was more of a big deal to me to do it. So I didn't, because the fan seemed like it had very low hours on it, and the spin down seemed fine. So I didn't take off the blades or anything. So this was the first time. But second coat of wax. I'm also wondering if the wax helped make cleaning it easier because, you know.
Protective layer.
Yeah. Looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Shiny.
Yeah. Is it ready to be installed?
Yep.
All right.
You want to deal with that red stuff in there?
Yeah, we probably should, since we have the right way. So what Eddie's going to do is take some rubbing alcohol and just try to clean that out. I'm going to put the wax away. It'll be great. This will be another fan off the fan pile.
Fan pile. Better.
Yeah. Like I said, with the last fan you did, anything is better than it was. All right, so we are at a point where we can put these back on. Man, it smells like a doctor's office when you smell that stuff. Like, you know how they put it on your arm.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to line up the flat part. You got it at the top. Got it at the top. What I like to do is just to make sure it's good is just give it the old that one fits on snug. All right, so we're gonna put the guard back on. Actually, yeah, that sticky stuff's, yeah, that's fine. All right, so you guys don't have to watch us put the guard on, so we're just gonna pause you. All right, we're back together, so we're gonna give it a twist. Very typical Marco motor, slow, low, medium. I remember this fan being like this, not a big difference between the medium and then, whoa, that really wakes up. But that's how this fan has always been. I think this is one of the ones with the Marco motor issue with the mediums. Thrilled with the spin down, but I remember this thing had spin down like this before. It was like not like super spinny. Yeah, but we saw the oil in there. right. Well, other than I'm a little not thrilled with the spin down on it. Other than that, it's great. Performance is performance is it perform it is performing the way it performed when I first acquired it before it was lent out. I remember having a very slow low, and then medium was not far off from it, and then all of a sudden high it just like blasted you. So from that aspect, it's performing exactly how it did before it just got buried in dirt. I can't recall a spin down, but I never remember the spin down being great on this fan for whatever reason. And I've had other metal Marco motors. I have one that's even older than this, and from '97. And I have another one from '95 that's the same motor as this. I feel that has stronger spin down on it. The one that I have from '97 has way more hours than even this one has on it, and has been restored. So we'll see. We'll this likely will get some type of service potentially. Although I asked her if she needed it. She brought it here because she said it was dirty and she didn't need it for the time being. So I don't know if it's going to go back over there or not, because I think she said she has some 3733s that she could just use. Why? I would use this over 3733 any day because it's a fuller. It's a fuller cabinet, and it just has that Marco motor, and it's nice. But and this I know again was used in a window, and I think these guards still have that like plastic. So I think they've changed the plastics over time to withstand the UV rays, which is good because, unfortunately in our hobby, the Achilles heel for a lot of these fans is the guards. Like I've had Lakewoods, other than having a parts fan, to replace the guards, like just disintegrate. I can't think of a newer Lasko in the last 20 years that have had guards just disintegrate as much as a pounding that you give them. All right, well, we're going to send you with the outro. And thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe if you haven't. And let's give it a rip. Is that a slight hum?